And we also suggest for you to write a list of the lessons that you learned from the relationship, because sometimes we look at that relationship and we only notice the bad parts, but even the bad parts can provide us with valuable lessons.
Exactly.
So maybe the lesson is I learned how to speak my truth, or I learned how to stand in my power, or I learned about a characteristic that I thought I wanted, but I actually don't want, or is a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
So write a list of all of the lessons that you've experienced, because the truth is we're going to continue to repeat lessons and cycles until we learn from them. So learn those lessons. Be like, universe, I got you.
Yeah, she's going to come back and keep spanking you with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can move on and continue to learn new lessons in your life. Namaste, it's Sahara Rose, and welcome back to the Highest Self podcast, a place where we discuss what makes you your soul's highest evolvement. If it's your first time listening, welcome. This is one of my mini episodes that I do with my friend Mia Magik called the Manifest Your Magic series. So we dive into different witchy topics related to creating your own reality. And today's topic is one that I actually recorded last year, but maybe I need to revisit now, which is all about how to clear cords with your ex. So we all have exes. We all have, people in our past that helped us become who we are today. And it's also equally important to cut those cords so we can move forward into the new butterfly versions of ourselves that are coming through. So in this episode, we share different rituals and practices that you can do to help energetically cut the cords that you might subconsciously be holding onto with your ex. So this is an episode I highly recommend watching on video. So if you have Spotify or YouTube, head over there so you can actually watch the video and see us do the ritual in person, because that way you're able to do the ritual at home and see the whole beautiful ceremonial aspect of it. And if you're listening to this later, then no worries, you can always rewatch it on video, and we also explain it along the way. So without further ado, let's dive into this conversation.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Manifesting Your Magic. I'm Mia Magik.
And I'm Sahara Rose.
And this is your most magical life. Today, we wanted to share with you a very simple ritual that actually has a profound impact energetically on releasing ex-partners, former friends, relationships, lovers, whoever it is that you just really want to cut the cord of energy from in your life. And this is a really great, easy way to do it and has a lot of symbology and metaphor in it. So we want to share a couple of these little ideas with you.
So when you create a relationship with someone, whether it's a romantic relationship, even a work partnership, etc., you start to create a cord with that person. Perhaps you've noticed that certain friends bring out different energies in you. Maybe with some friends you're more playful, other ones more serious. Some drama comes out. That's the frequency of that energetic cord. Now, when we're in a relationship, sometimes that cord can get really chaotic. It can have all of our previous traumas and fears and worries, especially in a romantic partnership where we're often echoing back the unhealed relationship patterns with our parents. So sometimes that cord gets so heavy, so chaotic that it's time to release it. And that's when you finally get that sign again and again and again that a breakup needs to happen. So in this video, we want to share how to actually do a cord cutting ritual so you can move forward with clarity and peace.
Yeah, that connection. The cord is the connection. It's really like, okay, we've shared energy, we've shared space, we've shared mind, thought, communication, all of our elements, right? We've touched, we have had our energies merging with one another. So that cord is really just representative of your connection. And energetically, it can actually literally be there still when you're like spinning, thinking about someone, you can't stop and they're just like in your mind. So what you're going to need for this ritual is some type of string or a cord. We've got a nice shiny silver one here for you all. You don't have to have a cauldron, but that makes it extra witchually if you want to burn your things in just any burn safe bowl. You're going to need one piece of paper and a pen, and of course, some scissors and something to light your paper on fire with.
So a really great time to do this is on a full moon, when the moon is at its peak and we're releasing and shedding and letting go of what is no longer serving us. If it's not a full moon, then just set the container that this is a time for you to release. Maybe you have some elements in the altar that you work with, or you light a candle for yourself. Be sure to be undisturbed for about an hour or so you can really let yourself feel the feels. And what we suggest for you to do is to actually write a letter to this person of all the things that you wish you could say. Maybe the hurt, the sadness, the anger. Let it all out in this letter. You never have to give this letter to them. In fact, we actually recommend not to.
Don't do it.
Letter is for your own healing, but it's going to let you move through any of the emotions that you still may be holding on to and come to clarity. So you're no longer holding on to them in your heart anymore, but you can actually release this heaviness by writing this letter. And then
after that, one of the things that you really want to get clear on is specifically, what are you releasing? So you say everything, like, let that letter be a purge. Say it all. Say the worst things you never said. The things that, when you're like talking to yourself in the mirror sometimes and you like get all angry and you wish you could say those things to them. Put all that in there. Great. Don't worry. We're going to burn it anyways. And then get really clear in yourself. Okay, this person, I chose to have them in my life. I let them in. I get to take responsibility for my role in that relationship. What are the ways that I showed up, the behaviors that I exhibited, or the belief systems that I was obviously playing out that allowed me to have this energy in my life, or to keep it maybe longer than it was? It doesn't even have to be that this person was necessarily bad, but that if you weren't listening to that intuition, that inner guidance system, and stayed longer than you should, what part of you needs to be released? Is it fear? Is it unworthiness? Is it not enough? Feeling like if I leave, I'll never find someone else. That's just scarcity. That's a total limiting belief. So really, really getting clear about, after you write the letter, what are the things that I am letting go of from myself in order to become a different kind of partner, a different capacity of manifester, so that when I am ready, I can magnetize and attract more aligned, whether it's partnerships or friendships or loverships, into my life.
Such good wisdom. And we also suggest for you to write a list of the lessons that you learned from the relationship, because sometimes we look at that relationship and we only notice the bad parts, but even the bad parts can provide us with valuable lessons.
Exactly.
So maybe the lesson is, I learned how to speak my truth, or I learned how to stand in my power, or I learned about a characteristic that I thought I wanted, but I actually don't want, or is a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
So write a list of all of the lessons that you've experienced, because the truth is we're going to continue to repeat lessons and cycles until we learn from them. So learn those lessons. Be like, universe, I got you.
Yeah, she got to come back and keep spanking you with it.
Exactly. So you can move on and continue to learn new lessons in your life.
Yeah, totally. And so after that, the lessons, that's like the harvesting, right? You want to be able to harvest all the things, even if it's one of the things that I just love about nature, right? Is all the things, all the leaves and the dirt and everything that falls down fuels what grows. So that's the harvest. You're like plucking from what has grown. Even if it was shit, right? Like, even if it really was a horrible experience for you, whatever grew from that, you're harvesting. Okay, these are the lessons that I've learned. And then, so again, you're going to take some time for this. You've got your purging. You've got what you're personally purging. You've got your harvesting. And then, what do you want next? What do you want to come out of it? Who do you want to be? And I think it's really nice to either put 2 columns or choose a letter that you want to write to your new partner, or that your new partner writes back to you, or that is a letter from your future self. Something like that. Writing a letter is really powerful. And if you put that energy of, okay, maybe I'm writing a letter to me from my future self, or I'm writing a letter to the woman I am or the person I am when I meet this partner of mine. Something like that. And really just calling in that energy. Feeling who that person is that you're ready to call in, because you're aware of all this other stuff and the work that you also get to do. So once you've done all of these different writing processes, what you want to do is start to breathe into your body, really get into a meditative state. You can take as long as you need, really just using deep breaths. And you want to do a body scan and feel through your whole being. And where do you experience that cord being most present? Is it in your pussy, in your womb, in your sexuality? Is it in your solar plexus and it's sort of draining your personal power? Is it right in your mind where it's just your thoughts are spinning and you can't get that person out of there and focus on things that are more important for you? Really just tuning in and seeing where is the cord present in your body.
So once you notice where this cord is present, you can begin doing the proper ritual. So in this ritual, you're going to be actually creating a safe fire, like we mentioned somewhere. Now, this is creating some completion between you and this person. You've said all of the words that you've wanted to say, and you're letting the fire burn it and turn it into ashes so it can move on to just be an experience, a lesson for you that you are now harvesting.
You also want to make sure that you don't leave the ashes in your home. The ashes from the fire, wherever you burn them, unless they're like in your fireplace, that's okay. But you could even just scoop them out and ditch them. You want to bury them outside, return them to the earth. And then once you've done that, and feel free if you desire to like really be expressed, if you don't have sacred sound safety, then don't worry about it. But you can also say some of the things out loud as that letter is burning, or just make any sounds that really help you feel that purge and release and completion. Then you want to take your cord and you're going to just place it wherever that part of your body is that you felt the awareness. And you can just like put it on your mind, really see it, and send however you saw or experienced or felt that cord, you're going to sort of transfer it into this one. You're like, I'm removing this from my head or from my heart or from my womb, and I'm putting that energy into this cord. And feel the other end being connected to that person and really just sending that energy. Okay, wow, I'm disconnecting this from myself and I'm going to cut this cord. This cord represents me completing the energy that I had with that person. And this doesn't mean that you like never have to talk to them again or that you can't do any healing, but this is just for you, right? To be clear of their energy. And then what you're going to do, you're going to need your scissors and you just focus on yourself, where you felt it, releasing from that place, and as slow or as fast as you want to, just and feel yourself sending that energy back to them.
We also suggest wrapping up the letter that you wrote of all of the lessons that you've learned with some time and planting it in your tree, a plant that you have in your home. So you're letting those lessons incubate. You're letting them grow and sprout so they can continue to blossom in your life and you don't have to learn those lessons anymore. You may actually physically feel something being removed from your body. I remember when I did this practice years ago, I felt like my solar plexus suddenly had so much more energy and movement that I was giving, just remaining attached to this old story of an old relationship that wasn't serving me. And also after doing it, I was no longer interested in what they were doing or their social media or any of that. I physically felt a shift in my being.
And if this person is available to you, one of the things that I really recommend is doing a harvesting ritual where you do sit down together and share with them what you learned, what value you received from the relationship. If it's a healthy, stable, did like some conscious uncoupling, that harvesting ritual is really powerful. I'm going to make another video all about that, but you can, if that person is available and a healthy, stable human being to do something like that with, you can also do something like this together. Just like, don't read the letter out loud, And you can also, at the end, once you're done with this cord and you've cut it, you can burn this too. You can just put it into your cauldron and burn it and send all of those ashes outside.
Such great tips. So let us know what cords you are cutting, who are you releasing, and how you feel after this ritual. We are here to support you. We are so grateful to have you in our community. Please like and subscribe this video. Share it with any friends that may be going through a breakup, a friendship breakup, a job breakup. It's so important that we cut these cords so we don't remain in the perpetual loop and move on to things that better serve us.
Yeah, this is really such a great way to amplify your power and your magic, releasing any attachments to any old stories, any old relationships, so that you truly can live your most magical life. So thank you all so much for joining us. Again, we are hoping that this is supporting you in manifesting all of your magic and living your most magical life.
And we'll see you in the next video.